2024, she's on the way out the door, and 2025 is in sight. Depending on when you're watching this, or I should say when I decide to post it, but get excited, grab a snack, because in today's video, I'm gonna be sharing with you my top 5 skincare products that I discovered in 2024. The best of 2024. These are products that not only are new to me, not only wowed me this year, but I'm gonna do my best to keep in my routine moving forward. Starting with the most important category, the most important product type in anyone's skincare routine, and that is, of course, sunscreen. What was the best sunscreen, in my opinion, of 2024? It's a Japanese sunscreen. It's the Skin Aqua Super Moisture Gel SPF 50 PA4+. It's kind of a newer version of an oldie but a goodie. It's a chemical sunscreen. It has octinoxate, Uvinol A+, Uvinol T150, and Tinosorb S. Zero white cast with this whatsoever. But let's talk about why this sunscreen in particular ended up being the best for me. It plays so well in humidity, in the heat. I loved it this past summer. Very lightweight, hydrating, not greasy at all. It does have alcohol in it, which scares a lot of people. When they see alcohol as an ingredient, they think, oh my gosh, is that gonna dry me out, irritate me? The formula is very well balanced, however, not the least bit drying in my experience. The alcohol is an important ingredient because it probably helps, although I'm not a cosmetic chemist, but it probably helps with the sunscreen active ingredient stability, and they're dissolving into the whole formula in a way that makes them actually functional. But it also plays a role in the overall finish of this sunscreen. It is one that is fast drying, non-greasy, lightweight, allows for good evaporation of sweat. If you live somewhere hot and humid, this is a sunscreen that is meant for you. Does not burn or sting around the eyes, okay? Like a lot of American chemical sunscreens can give you that blurry vision, watery eye thing. This does not do that, for me at least. All right, maybe if you're really sensitive it might, but it doesn't do that. No niacinamide. I know a lot of you guys are sensitive to niacinamide. Many sunscreens have niacinamide. This does not. There really isn't a whole lot going on in the formula other than the sunscreen active ingredients and this, you know, sort of fast drying, non-greasy base. Really good, really no nonsense, and a decent sized bottle. Like I said, I bought this locally, but you can also get it on Stelvana for, I want to say, under 12 bucks. And I think my code with Stelvana still works. I did a sponsored video with them last week. This video, though, is not sponsored. And like I said, I bought the Skin Aqua myself locally. All right, number 2 is a drugstore body moisturizer. Moisturizers, they are a staple in my routine as someone with atopic dermatitis. I'm always moisturizing, but this is from Cetaphil, a brand that pretty much does not disappoint. Their Gentle Exfoliating SA Body Lotion. Cetaphil does not play when it comes to salicylic acid. As a matter of fact, some of my favorite salicylic acid drugstore products have been from Cetaphil. Like they have this acne mattifying moisturizer that has 0.5% salicylic acid that has a beautiful finish. It's like a acne product, a salicylic acid product for those of you who have dry, sensitive acne. It's always dry, you're really sensitive, you get easily irritated by ingredients. That formula is so nice as a moisturizer. I digress. So this newer line of salicylic acid lotion, and they also have a face wash, have all been great, but I especially like the exfoliating body lotion with not just salicylic acid, which is great for exfoliating the pores, but also good for a rough, dry buildup. This lotion also has mandelic acid, an alpha hydroxy acid that is not only hydrating, but gently exfoliates, and it has gluconolactone, which is a polyhydroxy acid that's very hydrating and helps with improving barrier turnover, but is super gentle. This does have niacinamide, which is actually a great ingredient for the needs of the moisture barrier, and it's anti-inflammatory. It has shea butter and it has panthenol. It's not really heavy, which I discovered makes it great for the face, and it is even marketed as being for body and for face. If you have dry, rough skin texture on the face, give this a try. It's a great value, no fragrance, very moisturizing, not the least bit greasy, and it's really, really gentle in how it exfoliates. As a matter of fact, it's a product I mentioned in my video, I believe, on how to consider introducing an exfoliant when you are using tretinoin. So check that video out if you missed it and have questions about that. But yeah, this is definitely a favorite. It's really good not only for rough and bumpy skin, but if you have kind of that dry, dull buildup of skin that kind of gives the skin an ashen appearance, this is great. It helps to gently exfoliate that while hydrating what is left behind to smooth out the skin surface. It's also really good for dry elbows and dry dry knees. All right, number 3 is a serum from CosRx. As a brand, CosRx, I love them. I love them, I love them, I love them. As a matter of fact, one staple that I discovered earlier on in my channel and I've repurchased over and over again is that rice overnight spa mask. But this new CosRx 6 peptide skin booster serum, wow. I wasn't expecting much from this product, and boy, did it deliver. It's very hydrating, it has glycerin, and it also has a variety of amino acids, which are naturally found in skin's outermost layer and help with moisture retention and barrier function. But it has a variety of peptides. Peptides can be helpful for hydrating the skin, and some peptides do have some evidence, albeit mostly limited to industry studies, demonstrating that they can be helpful for improving the appearance of like fine lines around the eyes. Specifically, this has argireline, which a lot of people claim is Botox in a bottle. Doesn't actually get into the skin to work at the level of the neuromuscular junction, but it is one of the peptides for which there is some evidence that it improves the appearance of wrinkles. There's also another similar flavor peptide, if you will, as far as improving the appearance of wrinkles, and some people claiming it's kind of like a Botox-esque peptide. That is snake, that also is in this, and it has a variety of copper peptides which have anti-inflammatory properties and again are soothing and good for hydration. This has niacinamide, so I like that. Like I've said, good for not just the moisture barrier but for dark spots and redness. You get a lot of product in this bottle. You don't need very much to create a thin film on the skin surface. So not only does it deliver in terms of improving the appearance of the skin, improving moisture content, hydration, skin clarity, luminosity, overall radiance, but it lasts a long time and it's not that expensive. As a matter of fact, I tried out another serum this year from a brand that is pretty pricey, you know, one of those that used to heavily market itself as like medical grade, but now that we have opened our eyes to that type of marketing, it doesn't work as much anymore, so they don't make that claim as strongly. I'm sure they still do somewhere. Anyway, I digress. I reviewed another serum this year that honestly, very similar ingredients, like 10 times more expensive. Get this, works well, does the job as far as a hydrating serum to improve skin radiance, skin clarity, just the overall appearance of the skin. Loved it. Loved it, finished a bottle, and I've got another one that I just opened up, so I will continue to use it. But that should come as no surprise, you know. The other CosRx product that I adore is the Snail Mucin Power Essence, and if you caught my skincare empties that I recently did, I finished a bottle of that, and that really helps to improve skin elasticity. But for a good chunk of this year, I was actually using the peptide booster and the Snail Mucin serum, like kind of stacking them, and that was working out really well for me. If you are looking for a peptide serum, this was great. Affordable, effective, loved it. All right, you guys, La Roche-Posay Cicaplast Balm has been a long-standing, strong recommendation for me. I always recommend it in videos on like how to cut down on windburn, how to reduce chafing. It's a great balm skin protectant. It is a dimethicone-based skin protectant. However, they came out with a Cicaplast gel, which is a glycerin skin protectant. Glycerin 21% to be exact, and glycerin is super hydrating but also can create this kind of protective film on the skin surface to limit penetration of irritants and to reduce water loss from the skin. It also has compounds from centella, which are anti-inflammatory. But let me tell you, I'm now in my second tube of it, almost finished, about to buy my third. This gel around the eyes, amazing. Just a tiny little drop under the eyes, upper eyelid. Don't get it within a millimeter of your lash line to avoid getting it directly into the eyes, but it really helps plump the skin there and limit penetration of irritants. It's easy for irritants to settle on the eyelid skin, the nature of it, and it's thin, so it's a lot more vulnerable to irritation. This has been excellent for not just reducing eyelid dryness, but for really plumping and smoothing out lines, and honestly, it does lead to a brighter, smoother under eye appearance. And I notice a difference when I don't use it. Like, I finished the first two and there was maybe a month or so where I wasn't using it, and that benefit started to dwindle. My eyelids were a lot more vulnerable to dryness and irritation, especially with all the pollen and stuff we have here 24/7 all year round. Pollen is everywhere. Pollen, mold spores, aero allergens, big deal here. The rubbing of the eyes, you know, if you're like me, you have atopic dermatitis and a tendency towards allergic conditions like seasonal allergies. Maybe you also have asthma. I don't, but it goes along with the atopic myiathisis. Well, all of that rubbing of the eyes can lead to a lot of irritation around the eyes, and what ultimately causes something known as allergic shiners, dark under eye circles that you often might see in someone who has a lot of allergic tendencies. So this has been great for reducing triggers for itch around the eye. Then last but not least, Abib is a Korean brand. I discovered a sheet mask from them actually during the pandemic time, during the stay-at-home time, and I really liked it a lot. Then rounding out 2023, I got the Abib Barrier Jelly in one of my Korean advent calendars, and I tried it out, and let me tell you, this has been one of the best overnight masks, if you will. And by overnight mask, it's kind of just like an extra rich moisturizer to really help with reducing water loss, which tends to be greater at night when you sleep. This is like a thick, clear, colorless, hydrating jelly. It doesn't have a lot going on as far as ingredients. No niacinamide, again, for those of you who are sensitive. It has glycerin, which again, hydrating and a skin protectant depending on the overall formulation, the overall percentage. And it has rice bran extract, which I find a lot of Korean moisturizing products do center around rice, and I often find that I get along well with those. Rice or oats, love. This is a thick, sticky product. You put it on and your skin is going to be a bit sticky. So you want to give it some time before you go lie down on the pillow, otherwise it's going to stick to your pillow. It will dry down though and absorb after some time. Give it maybe 20 minutes at least. This is a really great option if you have sensitive cheeks. You can just put a thin film on the cheeks. Cheeks are very vascular. They have a lot of blood vessels, and because of that, the blood flow is enhanced there at night. When you sleep, you get more water loss. That's why they're a lot more sensitive. Plus, it's exposed territory. If you're someone who lives in a cold climate, you're out walking, those cold, dry winter winds can leave your cheeks raw, chapped. This is an excellent option to put on at night to really help kickstart barrier recovery. I'm telling you, this has to have been one of my 2024 skincare discovery holy grails. Amazing, amazing as a recovery mask, really for super sensitive, dry, irritated skin. You don't need to use it to the entire face unless you want to. I have used it that way comfortably, no issue. You can just use it to areas of the face where you have a lot of sensitivity, dryness, irritation. Maybe you've started a topical retinoid and you're getting a lot of peeling, sensitivity. This would be a great option to help lessen that overall, that discomfort. You don't necessarily have to use it every night once things have gotten better. It's something you can just have on hand. But I have found it's amazing and definitely will be a staple moving forward in my skincare arsenal. All right, y'all, those are the top 5 skincare products I discovered this year, 2024. It was a great year. I did encounter some skincare duds, some things that were just not that great, but let me know in the comments what skincare holy grails did you discover this year. I hope you're having a great end of the year or start to 2025. If you guys like this video, give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and as always, don't forget, sunscreen and subscribe. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Bye.